What's up, guys and gals? It's me, your old buddy Mr. Moose, back with another edition of Euro Truck Simulator 2. And today we are located in Amsterdam as we are getting ready to do another one of our grand gift deliveries. This is going to be job number 4 for me. Now, job number 3 was quite a bit of a nightmare for me. As you can tell, I'm on the multiplayer server because I wanted to have the winter mod in, and so I jumped over on the multiplayer server to do my recording. And when I got over here, I took my World of Trucks contract, which ran me from Felixstown in Great Britain over to Amsterdam, and no problem, right? In a little short little jump, it wasn't going to be much of an issue. And I started the recording and I got going and started my drive, and when I got to the docks, for some reason, the multiplayer did not want to let me cross the ferry, and my game kept locking up every time I got to the ferry and tried to get across. Every time I initiated the ferry, the game would lock up. So I had to finally give up on the multiplayer, and I had to go back into single player to complete the job. Anyways, I lost the recording of that. So you guys missed out on my third job. It was pretty simple, no big deal. But we got it done, and so now we're on job 4, and job 4 is going to take us from Amsterdam into France. We're going to Metz, which should mean that we don't have any ferries to cross, and there's no reason why the game should lock up. So here we are. We're on the multiplayer, featuring the frozen or wintry mod, and we are driving our Scania. So yeah, should be a fun little drive. I looked back there, I thought I saw a dog running across the street. I was like, whoa, did they just add that into the game? Because I've never seen that before, but I guess it was the shadow of the guardrail, or just the guardrail silhouette out there. Oops, I always hate when I stop a little bit short and I can't see that light in the in between the posts there and the mirrors. All right, so we're running here to the KLW, and we are going to pick us up another one of those beautiful gift trailers, and we will head out to Metz. Should be a fun little drive. It is 1938. There's my trailer down there. I was like, okay, I know it was right here. Anyways, today is Christmas Eve, so depending on when you watch this, happy holidays to all of you guys. Hope you have a wonderful evening and enjoy it, whatever you may be doing, with whether you're with family or friends or just getting giddy in anticipation of Christmas morning. I do hope you have a wonderful and fantastic holiday. There we go, we are locked in. Let's go ahead and trailer that. Take a look at how our truck looks with the package on here. It's kind of dark. You guys can't see the truck. I do hate that. It's a beautiful truck. I'll try to find some illumination here in just a moment. All right. Let's go ahead and check our brakes real quick. Do a tug test real quick. Oh yeah, it's good. See if we can get her out here in the light real quick and get a view at the truck before we head on out. Let's see. This is my standard little holiday truck that I drive. This is Scania with the ribbon paint job on it. I really like it. It looks really good. There's so many good holiday paint jobs in ETS versus ATS, and I mean, look at how good that is. That conveys Christmas time. You can tell it's a gift, it's holidays, you know, it says Christmas, you know, whereas all the ones in ETS, they're just junk. They just didn't do a good enough job with them. But anyways, that's the truck we're going to be driving today. And yeah, we'll get rolling here. Have a little bit of fun with it. We have got 436 kilometers to go. It's about 7 hours of drive time. And of course, we are on the multiplayer. So all sorts of hijinks could rear its ugly head up. You never know what you're going to see. That's another thing I miss about that one. I got set out and I was heading down, and dude took a roundabout way too fast and just lost it. He ate it bad, and I was like, oh, that was great. Got that on video. And of course I lost all that because I had to ditch the whole recording. No big deal. I'm sure something will stick its ugly head up for this video as well, because people drive like morons on here. Oh, now I'm a little bit too far. Pull up a little bit so I can see when that green light changes. Red, red, red. Come on. Anyways. So what's up? What you doing today? Hanging out, chilling out? Do you get to open presents today? Do you open them all tomorrow? How's it work for you and your family? You know, everybody's a little bit different. I used to think everybody did it just the way my family did, you know? Early in the morning, get up. You know, my dad had this great tradition when I was a kid where every Christmas we'd get up early in the morning, like usually 4:30 in the morning. I had no idea other than I thought, well, you know, my parents were super cool and want to get started early in the day with get the unwrapping of the presents done. That way we could play with them all day long. I had no idea that it was because Dad had to go to work usually, and usually he had to be there by 6 o'clock in the morning. So 30-minute drive to work. Kids unwrapped the presents, didn't want to make us wait all day long, so we always opened presents first thing in the morning. He was super cool like that, you know, always putting us first. And so yeah, he had this tradition though. Mom would get us out of bed and we all go into the family room, and we had to wait there before we could go into where the Christmas tree was, which was in the living room. And we sat in the family room and we waited for the old man to come out, because we couldn't go in to where the presents were until Dad went in there, because he had to inspect. He had to make sure that jolly old Saint Nick had been there and had made his deliveries, but he also had to make sure that nothing was unlabeled or any of that stuff, because he didn't want any confusion of, you know, who was supposed to get what and everything else like that. So Dad was always, you know, he was the guy who was always looking out for you. And once he finally got up and got a cup of coffee in his hand and went in and turned the tree on and all that other stuff, because the tree had to be illuminated before we all went in there. And you know, he'd fire the tree up and he'd say, okay, you guys can come on in. And we all come on in there, and there would be all the presents and everything. And then we just go into the whole fiasco of unwrapping, and that was it. That was the deal, you know. And that was when I was a little kid. And then as I got a little bit older, tradition started changing a little bit, because he didn't have to go to work nearly as much on Christmas. He started, you know, getting to the point where he always had Christmas off, and for the most part he had Christmas off. And on those we had some of the greater traditions. As a kid, Dad would always, we'd have Christmas, we'd still get up real early in the morning and unwrap all the presents, and then Dad would cook, which was, well, I gotta tell you this, Dad didn't cook all the time. He's a good cook, but he didn't cook all the time. Mom usually cooked most of the meals. Dad would cook on occasion, right? But it was Mom did most of the cooking. But on Christmas, if Dad was home, Dad cooked. And it was always Dad's Christmas morning meal was always blueberry pancakes, bacon, sausage, blueberry pancakes. Oh man, I still remember sitting there in the kitchen watching Dad cook pancakes for everybody. And he always had such a glow on his face. You could tell because he was so happy, watching the kids after open up presents and stuff. And those are great memories, just great times with my pop. Then when we got a little bit older and Dad got a little bit better off in his life, he started to get back to the community a little bit. And then our Christmases really changed. Then we got up super early Christmas morning because my dad decided that he wanted to do something really special for the first responders in our community. We didn't live in a huge area at the time, and so it wasn't hard for him to do something really cool. This is back in the day when everybody trusted everybody, but he had a little extra money that he could splurge a little bit, and he was a former volunteer firefighter himself, and he liked to give back to the community, and so we would do a Christmas morning breakfast for all of the workers who had to work on Christmas Day. And he invited the police department and the fire department to swing by the house and have breakfast with the family. And the first year we did it, I think we had maybe one of the fire departments showed up and brought a truck load of guys over, and a couple of police officers came by, and I mean, we had a spread. All kinds of like biscuits and muffins and bacon and sausage and eggs and hash browns. I mean, they put it out for them. Ham, everything you could think of, they had it out for them that morning. And I was just like, as a kid, my eyes were just like amazed at the food that was prepared that day. And and not a whole lot of the guys showed up because they didn't know really what to think about it and everything. But the ones who knew my dad, they came by and partook, and but word spread after that, because it was like, y'all, if you gotta work Christmas morning and they do a breakfast, you go by there and eat breakfast, because it's an unbelievable breakfast. And so they always made sure that they had everything ready by shift change, and so we did that every year, and it was an amazing tradition, and we did it all throughout the years that I was in high school, and my mom and dad continued to do it after I went off to college. And it was just kind of cool always to come home to that. And I remember after we did it, like the first year was kind of cool. The second year, when there was like 3 fire trucks in the driveway and police cars all up and down the street, when I went back to school the next right after the Christmas break, everybody's like, what happened to your house on Christmas morning? And it's like, what do you mean? It's like, well, the entire fire department and police department is at your house this morning. It's like, oh, well, yeah, my dad cooked breakfast for them. So it was kind of cool growing up in an atmosphere like that, but and I try to do that kind of stuff. That kind of value is instilled in me by my pop, and try to do that these days. But it's a lot harder to do it these days, because it's not as easy to just hand food to somebody these days, especially as a first responder. We're a little less trusting society. It goes back to like Halloween. We used to get popcorn balls, and I remember as a kid, we used to get candied apples and popcorn balls and things like that. And then some sicko had to put razor blades and stuff, or put needles and things. And then all that changed. The innocence of Halloween sort of went down the pipe at that point. And it's sort of that way with, trying to do something nice for the first responders, is because you just don't know. You don't know if a home-prepared meal's been poisoned or something else like that. They're a little skittish of taking stuff like that, so it's not so easy to do a spread for the fire department, police department. And if you ever want to do something like that, just go talk to the battalion chief or chief of police. Talk to them, find out what they recommend you do. In my particular area, what we finally settled on is I cater a meal. They get to choose who we cater it through, and we tend to cater it not so much for the holidays, but I do it usually right after the holidays, because they do get a whole lot of people like bringing them fruit baskets and all that other stuff. And so usually it's some sort of nice meal that we make sure that they're taken care of with, and it's nice. So I save up a little bit of money every year and throw that out there and do that. But it's nothing like it was when I was a kid. It's nothing like getting up early in the morning, unwrapping all your presents, and then having that aroma of food where your mom and your dad and grandparents have been cooking all morning long, getting everything wrong, and then just have one person after another and after another come through your door, and just, you know, the holiday spirit there of sharing and giving that way. But it was always pretty cool. So yeah, we one time did, I think once, we did the whole open Christmas presents Christmas Eve type, and it just ruined the holiday. It was just not the same. It was just really awkward, because then like Christmas Day, you're like, what do we do? It's not the same. But anyways, that's a little bit of look into my past as far as Christmas goes. So what do you guys do? You guys open like a present on Christmas Eve? Do you not? No presents at all on Christmas Eve? Is it all about Christmas Day? Do you do a big Christmas dinner? Do you do a Christmas Eve dinner or something? We've always been more about Christmas Eve dinner. It's always been about having a dinner on Christmas Eve, going to a candlelight service, and then you know, having some sort of meal together afterwards at the house, and then just chilling out, watching It's a Wonderful Life, playing some cards, just hanging out as a family. That's another thing. I remember when we used to, you know, when my mom's family got together and came over for Christmas, there'd be all kinds of her sisters and brothers and their kids, and oh gosh, the house would always be full. But they would play these monster games of Rook or Hearts, and I mean, they would be just epic long, you know, 3-4 hour long card games that they would play. And I remember that as a kid too, and I remembered I couldn't wait to become an adult so I could sit in on the card games, or sitting on my dad's lap picking cards for him to play and stuff. It was always a lot of fun. Good times though. Yeah, above the presents and everything, my fondest memories are just family time, just time with the family. All right, well, we got about 4 hours left in this drive, 257 kilometers to go, on a snowy evening going across Europe. Let's do the old number 8 challenge here. It's a little foggy. We're sort of on the road by ourselves, which is kind of good because I'm driving like a moron. Yeah. I do like taking a break and getting over on Euro Truck and having a change pace from ATS. It's like I said in my video the other day, yesterday, I'm like, I swore I was going to give up ETS. I'm never going to play this after American Truck Sim comes out. Here we are, back in it. Enjoying a little drive in there. I'm really digging the fact that you can complete this achievement using both ATS and ETS. I think that's a really, really cool feature. All right. Anyways, I hope you guys have a wonderful evening tonight. Or whenever you may be watching this. Merry Christmas if you're watching it on Christmas Day. You have to remember, on the multiplayer, there's no... I was looking for traffic, and I was like, oh, I'm on the multiplayer. There is no AI traffic on the multiplayer. Just other players. And if you don't see a blue dot, you know they're not here. I think I started the wrong music in the background now that I'm listening to it. I meant to have some holiday music, but apparently I started everything. Oh well. Mistakes were made. Yeah, I meant to have the holiday music playing in the background, but apparently I just launched the entire music catalog. Slow down a little bit. Don't let us run away with it. I mean, speed doesn't matter on the multiplayer, but I'm still trying to drive within the restraints of the game. $60 kilometers an hour is what our speed limit is right now. Yeah, the snow mod in ETS is so much better than it is in ATS. And I know it's the first year of doing it, and it doesn't really fit in all areas of ATS, but man, in Euro Truck, it is so good. And the trick to really making the snow mod work really good in ATS as well as ETS is turn your rain probability all the way up. That's the one time that when I'm driving that I have my rain probability turned all the way wide open. The rest of the time I usually have it turned down pretty low. But for driving in here, I like to have it all the way up. Alright, back up to 75 kilometers. Thought I saw headlights behind me. Not real sure. Alright. So anyways, should be a couple other videos out today as well for you guys to watch. Probably no live stream Christmas Eve, as I plan on spending that time with the family. Got a little candlelight service to go to, little dinner with a girlfriend, her family, and my mom, and a couple other folks who got a family coming over that I've never met them before. They're somebody through the church that we were turned on that didn't really have anything for Christmas, so we invited them over for Christmas dinner. So they're coming over for after church and gonna have dinner with us. So that's what we're doing tonight, and tomorrow's gonna be just kind of laid back. Do a little gift giving early in the morning to keep that going, and then I'll cook breakfast for the fam and for the peeps that are here. Oh, I'm a little squirrely here. Slow down there, Moosey. I don't know how you drive 90 through those, man. That's we'll switch back there. Alright, looks like we need to be in the left lane coming up here. So yeah, that'll be my evening, or my day. My evening, it'll be a little family time. And then tomorrow, just kind of laid back. I do plan on doing a Christmas live stream. Everything is subject to change. Oops. Come on now, let's go. Thought I put it in reverse. I do plan on doing a Christmas live stream, but again, that is that's subject to change. It just depends on what happens. I do have some family in town, so I do kind of have to play it by ear with them. But as far as the rest of the family is pretty cool with me going off and doing my thing at night. And that's usually the way, you know, we don't do a Christmas dinner, which is so funny because somebody said something to me about, well, what are we going to do for dinner on Christmas Day? I was like, leftovers. That's what we've always done. That's the way my family's always done it, is we have a big meal on Christmas Eve, and then everybody just kind of fends for themselves on Christmas Day, because I guess that's sort of the way it always has been in my family. Is, and it goes back to, again, to my childhood, because my parents and, you know, the parents and other adult family members would always be up late at night doing things. They'd play cards and stuff till the wee hour morning, and then they would also be doing some last minute gift wrapping of such, you know, maybe some presents that they didn't want put under the tree until Christmas Eve, so they could fool the kids that they weren't getting something that they had asked for. And I think they were also secretly trying to catch Santa Claus when he came. But they would all be wore out the next day. And so one of the things that we always had going on was, you know, and the kids would always be playing with toys and everything else like that all day long. And by the end of the afternoon, I think everybody was just wore out. And so nobody really wanted to cook any kind of big meal or anything. So always on Christmas Eve, we'd have a big dinner. And then on Christmas Day, we just kind of sit around, and it was like the ham and turkey and stuff like that were always available for you to go make a sandwich with or whatever. But it was always leftover time on Christmas Day, because it was, you know, hey, you know, everybody's doing their thing, and some people wanted to take naps, and it was just kind of always understood that was the way it worked. Well, the old US server is just kind of empty today. I saw one truck earlier. If I'm still connected to the US server, I guess. Oops, this is one of them roads. Pretty sure I'm still connected to the server. Actually, I know I'm connected to the server. I was talking to a guy from Germany just before I started recording, and I turned the radio off. Caught me as soon as I logged in. Hey, Mr. Moose! Real nice guy, though. Wanted to drive with me. I was like, well, I'm sort of going to record a video. Oh, I understand. Alright, not too much farther. It's 45 kilometers. But we are almost to our destination. I hate that it's been a night drive for you guys, but I hope you guys enjoy it nonetheless. I guess I could have fast-tracked time or slept, or I don't know. It just depends on the multiplayer. Sometimes it won't let you sleep if you've already slept a few times. I might not have been able to get through the time, but alright, so we shall see our destination up ahead. We'll make this delivery and wrap this episode up. And that will get us 4 deliveries done, and we'll still have 6 to do, so. Still more. I was thinking that was a little bit further up. My bad. Good thing nobody else is on the server. That could have been nasty. I'm actually shocked there's not more people on, and I would have thought, and honestly, when I took this job, because I didn't like where I was at, being in Amsterdam, when I first got on the server, I was in France, and I thought, well, I was in the south of France, and I thought, well, I'll just find a job. This will be great, because I'll be down here, and there won't be a whole lot of people, and there won't be issues trying to back in, and, you know, that kind of thing. And, when I ended up, I couldn't get a job. I couldn't get one of the holiday gifts. So I moved up to Felixstown and actually found a load there that I could take. And that took me to Amsterdam. And when I did the Amsterdam, I was just like, oh, I just know this one's going to be packed. I know everybody and their brother's going to be on it. And when I get to the destination, I'm going to have to deal with other drivers trying to back in at the exact same time I'm backing in. But this has been a pretty quiet one. Not a whole lot of people on here, and I think part of that is also I'm on the US server and not the European server. There weren't but about 45 people on the server when I got on. So I think that probably has a little bit to do with it. Alright. Oh, this would be an easy job delivering to the post speed. This is like the easiest delivery in the game. I keep getting this dock too. Like when we did the France deliveries, it was sort of like the really easy pull-in dock where you just kind of pull in and then back it in. It's not hard at all to get into this one. All right, so we'll make our delivery here. Get this package delivered for whoever is getting this big old box of goodies. I still say part of it is a giant lump of coal. All right. Oops. So I'm on the multiplayer, so I lose the FOV mirrors, which means I have to resort to the in-game ones, which are nasty. Oh, I can't take that. This is just way too ugly. What was I said about this was an easy one to back into? Yeah. I just like to have it straight. It just really drives me crazy if I don't have it straight. All right, there we go. Let's take a look at it. There we go. No good picture on this one. That's about as good as we're gonna get. So let's get rid of the mirrors. And we'll go into our photo mode real quick. Photo studio, photo mode. And let's swing around here so we get some light on this. We got to get a picture of our delivery. Oops, there we go. Let's see what we can do about focusing position. Everything looks good. That's about as best as we're gonna get. So we'll go ahead and snap the photo there, and we will go ahead and get paid. So we'll trailer it, decouple. There we go. Completed job. Excellent. Get a little XP from it. Brings us up to level 45, I guess we are now. Very cool. Feel like I've been here before on this account. How many of these I have? All right, well, that'll do it for today. I hope you guys enjoyed it. That is number 4 in the books, and we've got 6 more to go, so in order to get the achievement. But yeah, I did want to jump over here, especially over to Euro Truck, just to verify that you could do it on both accounts in order to fulfill your obligation to get 10. So you can do it wherever you want to do it. So if you're feeling like it's a challenge in ATS to get 10 specific loads, maybe consider jumping over to Euro Truck and driving on there. And Euro Truck right now is dirt cheap over on the Steam winter sale. So if you don't own it, I highly recommend, if you've got a few bucks to spend, grab it. I think it's under like 10 bucks. I think it's just dirt cheap, maybe like $7-8 or something like that. I forget exactly. Somebody made a reference to it being like £9 or something like that, you know. Maybe you take a look at it in the Steam winter sale, which started on the 22nd. So but anyways, thanks for watching, guys. Happy holidays to you. Hope you have a very Merry Christmas with you and your family. I shall see you in our next video. Until then, make sure you smack that like button if you enjoyed the video. Consider sharing it with your friends. If you haven't, please, I'd be honored if you would subscribe to the channel, and catch me in a live stream one evening and say hi. And until then, stay safe. Have yourself a wonderful day. May God bless you and your family, and I will see you later. Bye-bye.